Welcome to English Listening Practice. Today's episode, Eating Healthy on a Simple Budget. This episode has 95 parts. Listen carefully and enjoy. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Have you ever tried to change your diet but stopped because the groceries cost too much? It is a very common experience, as many of us want to eat better but feel discouraged when we look at our shopping receipts. We often see pictures online of beautiful, expensive meals, and you probably know exactly the ones I mean. I am talking about the famous $20 salad, or the perfectly decorated avocado toast from a trendy cafe. These images create a strong stereotype in our minds, making us believe that eating well will quickly empty our wallets. But what if I told you that this idea is completely false? It might surprise you, but a nutritious diet can actually cost significantly less than a diet full of junk food. You do not need to buy exotic superfoods to take excellent care of your body. Today, we are going to explore how you can eat wonderfully on a budget without losing your mind or your cash. First, let's define what healthy actually means in simple, practical terms. It is not about following the latest internet trends or buying products with fancy, colorful packaging. Healthy eating simply means giving your body the nutrients it needs to work well every day. That means getting enough vitamins, proteins, and energy to comfortably get through your daily routine. You can easily get all these essential nutrients from basic, everyday ingredients. So, why is it so important to manage our food budget while doing this? When you spend too much at the supermarket, it naturally creates a lot of financial stress. If eating well causes you stress, you will probably give up and go back to old, comfortable habits. Managing your food budget helps you maintain these positive choices over the long term. It turns a quick, temporary diet into a permanent and enjoyable lifestyle change. In this episode, we will focus on 3 main areas to help you achieve this balance. We are going to look closely at your planning, your shopping habits, and your cooking routines. By changing just a few small things, you will notice a huge difference in your bank account. Let's start with our first key idea, which is the incredible power of planning. The biggest secret to keeping your grocery bills low happens before you even step outside your house. Before you grab your bags and head to the supermarket, you need to investigate your kitchen. Open your cupboards and look inside your fridge to see exactly what you already have. Many people buy things they already own simply because they did not bother to check first. Once you know what you have, it is time to sit down and make a weekly meal plan. Decide what you are going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the next few days. Based on that specific plan, you must write a strict and clear shopping list. The rule is simple. If an item is not on the list, it absolutely does not go into your basket. This prevents you from picking up random, unnecessary items while you are walking down the store aisles. When making your plan, try to design your meals around affordable foundation foods. Foundation foods are basic ingredients that fill you up and provide fantastic nutrition. Some excellent examples are brown rice, oats, lentils, and canned beans. These items are incredibly budget-friendly, especially if you buy them in larger, family-sized bags. They also last a very long time in your cupboard, so you never have to worry about them going bad quickly. You can use these foundation foods as the reliable base for almost any meal you create. Now that we have a solid plan, let's talk about rethinking our ingredients. We often believe that fresh food is always the best choice, but that is not entirely true. Let's take frozen vegetables as a perfect example of this. Many people incorrectly think frozen vegetables are much less healthy than fresh ones. In reality, they are picked and frozen at their best moment, so they keep all their valuable vitamins. Plus, they last for months in your freezer and usually cost much less than fresh produce. You can just take out the exact amount you need for a meal, which means absolutely zero waste. Another great tip is to pay close attention to seasonal produce. When you buy fruits and vegetables that naturally grow in the current season, they are usually much more affordable. If you try to buy imported strawberries in the middle of a freezing winter, you will pay a very high price. Seasonal food also tastes much better because it has not traveled halfway across the world to reach your plate. Our next shopping tip is about how the food is prepared before you even buy it. Supermarkets love to sell pre-cut vegetables, grated cheese, or perfectly sliced meats. While these are very convenient, you are paying extra money just for the preparation. It is much better for your wallet to buy whole foods instead. Buying a whole block of cheese and grating it yourself at home only takes a minute of your time. The same logic applies to buying a whole chicken instead of expensive, prepackaged chicken breasts. So, how do all these tips fit into a normal, busy week? Let's look at some real-world scenarios. Imagine it is Sunday afternoon. You have some free time and a kitchen full of basic ingredients. Instead of cooking just one meal, you decide to cook a large batch of vegetable soup or chili. You chop up some onions, carrots, and add those affordable beans we talked about earlier. By cooking a big pot, you now have dinner for Sunday, plus extra portions for the rest of the week. You can put these extra portions in small containers and keep them safely in the fridge. This brings us perfectly to our second scenario, which is the typical work lunch. Buying a sandwich or a salad near your office every single day is a huge drain on your finances. But since you cooked that big batch of food on Sunday, your lunch problem is already solved. You simply pack yesterday's dinner leftovers in a container and take it to work with you. Not only is this much kinder to your budget, but it is also much healthier than buying fast food. Now, let's imagine it is Friday evening, and you have reached the end of the working week. You look in the fridge and see just a few random vegetables left over on the shelf. Maybe you have half a pepper, a lonely tomato, and a small handful of spinach. Instead of ordering a takeaway, you chop them up and make a simple, delicious omelet. Eggs are a fantastic, budget-friendly source of protein that cook in just a few minutes. By using up those last few vegetables, you have created a great meal and completely avoided wasting food. Of course, even with the best plans in the world, we all make mistakes sometimes. Let's talk about some common shopping traps that secretly drain your food budget without you noticing. The most famous mistake is going to the supermarket when you are feeling very hungry. If your stomach is empty, absolutely everything in the store looks amazing to you. You will probably ignore your carefully written list and buy expensive, unhealthy snacks. Always eat a small snack before you go shopping to keep your brain in control of your choices. Another trap is falling for clever marketing, which is sometimes called the health halo. This happens when a product has exciting words like natural or high protein on the label. People often buy expensive protein bars or special drinks simply because they seem healthy. But you can get the exact same nutrition from a simple boiled egg or a handful of plain nuts. Finally, the biggest mistake of all is throwing food away because it went bad in your fridge. When you throw away expired food, it is exactly like throwing your hard-earned money directly into the trash. This is exactly why our earlier tips about checking the fridge and making a plan are so incredibly important. We have covered a lot of useful ground today, so let's do a quick recap of the main points. Eating well does not have to be a luxury experience reserved for the wealthy. Remember to always check your kitchen and make a solid plan before you go out to shop. Stick to your list and build your meals around affordable foundation foods like lentils and brown rice. Do not forget that frozen vegetables and seasonal produce are your absolute best friends in the supermarket. And try your best to avoid those common traps, especially shopping on an empty stomach. I have a small, practical challenge for you to try this week. Try packing your lunch for just one day to see how it feels and how much you keep in your pocket. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next episode for more English practice. And that's the end of today's episode, Eating Healthy on a Simple Budget. I hope you learned something new and enjoyed listening. Keep practicing every day. Your English is getting better and better. Follow this channel for more English listening practice. See you next time.